Hello guys, gonna bring you something different. Gonna try a little let's play of a game I'm very fond of. That game is Empire Total, but not just Vanilla Empire Total. It is the American Civil War, North versus South, brothers versus brothers mod. Got it working late last night. Started a little play test to make sure it worked alright. Working fine up until I was literally about to defeat a big Union army, and then it crashed. So I thought, screw it, I might do this as a let's play, and if it crashes, it crashes, and we'll just call it quits there. So I'm playing as Confederate states, also known as the slave states or the South. Not because I endorse slavery, because they're the harder of the two factions to play. As you see, we've got very limited settlements. We've got Mexico, which is not as powerful as they once were, but still a faction to be reckoned with. I think we've got Holland, yeah, the United Provinces they're called at this time. Yeah, they're holding some of their West Indian colony still. So what's that place? Punda. What's that? Bolivia and Venezuela have a republic. There's another United Provinces. France has a region and some islands in the Pacific. Obviously Spain has Cuba still. Santo Domingo. And then we go look at our places. We got New Orleans, Louisiana, so we got Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina is put into one place. Tennessee, Kentucky, I want that. Kentucky's southern, should be ours. Richmond, Virginia. And also then we look at the Union, the North. Got Detroit, Washington DC, Philadelphia, is New York in here? Oh, Central New York, Boston, Falmouth. So yeah, and then we got the Brits, good old British, in the north with Canada. As you can see, Canada's got absolutely fuck all in it. So there's no armies to start off with. The Union, the North, are built up economically wise a little bit stronger than Southerners. They've already got quite well developed buildings and towns. Good thing about this mod in the campaign is that it starts you off with 50,000 gold. Massive amounts. You can do so much of that. So I'm going to increase, build on our economy. That doesn't need a military. Got our plantations being in the south. Build at the ports to get the most money coming in. Just looking for the places which aren't as developed. See, like them, 500 gold, not even developed in the slightest. Nothing even built there. Right then, so the next thing I would do would be bollocks. Upgrade the infrastructure. So that's roads and railways, which are vital during especially this type of warfare. Before motorised transport was available, railway was majorly important, and the South historically hardly had any railway. The stat I looked at, they had 9% of all of America's railway. The Union had the other, well, obviously 92%. So let's start by, we'll build that and build that and build that and build that. I'm going to build a smallish army near Kentucky on the frontier. Let's build that and then recruit. So we've got Confederate militia. So they're line infantry, so we'll get them built. So I've spent almost all of my gold there. This is something that always comes up. They will give you a shit ton of money, shitloads of technology if you give them North and South Carolina and Louisiana. Well, unfortunately, that there is North and South. They ain't having that. And they want, where's Louisiana? There. So it would literally cut my territory in two. We're going to decline that because we actually want to have a civil war. No. That is a stupid offer. So if you don't agree with that last one we just did, the trade agreement they wanted, you will I don't think you're going to break into open war, because normally it's, I think historically the Union started the war. I'm not 100% sure, but they do that in this. So the Union will declare war on me. They're probably building up troops now, I imagine, somewhere. So let's recruit. What we got then? What a nice mix of... What the f... So that'll be a big enough army for me, I think. We'll just keep building militia units for them. Just make sure... Yeah, we're developing back here, that's alright. Give me brother! Screw the centre in there. Yeah, whatever, I don't want to watch these. See, they've got their armies, they're bringing them to the border, so in response to that I'm just going to keep building my troops on the frontier. One thing that's awesome about this mod is that they've completely redone the combat system in terms of how the firearm soldiers, so the musket but wielding troops, fire. They've increased unit size, so if I go to my army here, so it has, units now have 320 men instead of 120, which I think that was on either large or huge, I can't remember. The range is massive, but they're not very accurate, but they can fire almost consecutive volleys. So even though they're not very accurate and they're firing from so far away, so the enemy and your guys aren't really taking as many casualties as you would expect, because they reload so fast and fire so often. The battles aren't being drawn out, and it generally feels like this is from media, from what you see of battles during the American Civil War, from like films and documentaries. It's generally how the battles seemed to play out. So yeah, this is awesome work by the guys who worked on this mod. Can't fault them one bit. Shit, what's going on? I'm gonna keep building our railway. Although I feel like I should probably... Oh, they're being recruited, that's alright. So for a great arsenal, we want slightly better artillery than that. Artillery's gonna play a big role. Music's a bit loud. It's doing my head in a little bit. It just pops up every now and then, just a random bit of music. The background music now is nice and jolly. I like it, but yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Skip. Can't recruit generals in the same way. Basically, you build a certain type of building, and it allows you to unlock famous generals from either side. That's basically all it does. We're not going to declare... maybe we could declare... No, we won't. When I did my playtest of the campaign yesterday, I tried getting a trade agreement with Great Britain. Oh no, yeah. Tried getting a trade agreement with Great Britain. They were like, yeah, alright then, if you give us 25,000 gold, we'll become your military ally as well. And I was like, oh, sweet. Alright, it's half my gold gone within the first turn, but I'll have Great Britain to the north as an ally should I go to war. Turns out that when the Union declared war on me, Britain left me, the cunts. So they took my money and left me to fight a war on my own, and the Union had France on their frigging side. Luckily France is all the way down there, and then they don't really have anything. I don't think they have a navy, so they can't get here. But Mexico ended up declaring war on me as well. So I had to divert some of my attention south. But oh well. All I can say is, shit happens. So we're just going to end the turn again, continue building here. Are we recruiting? Yeah, we got stuff being built. I'm thinking maybe some more cav just to add on top there. It's in the turn music, which is really loud. Oh, what's the Union doing here? If I take Washington, that'd be nice. Take the capital straight off them. I seem to be building my army a lot quicker than theirs. What we got there? Drill school, that's in Richmond. That's good. So what units can we now... No, get off. Get off! What's that? Confederate Zouaves. Suaves, I guess it is, maybe. Volunteers dazzle their enemy with their fancy uniforms. Oh. Zouave was a name given to the native North African troops employed by the French army. This soon became very popular worldwide. It's a fancy uniform. Don't particularly need them, to be honest. Although they seem to have replaced my Confederate regular line infantry. Where's the cavalry? I was recruiting cavalry and now they've gone. I'm not going to build any artillery yet until I've got this great arsenal built, and then we can see from there. So the Union's still not declared war. I don't think... To be honest, if they declare war, I'm just going to march straight on Washington. No! Jeez, they really... Oh, fucking... United Provinces. Ridiculous offers. At least it was a reasonable offer with the Union. Like, if I did not want war... Oh dear. Rest in peace Bolivia / Venezuela. Native Americans. So it looks like they just had really low public order and there's a rebellion and then they couldn't quash it, so they lost. Oh, I love this game. Ah! Nashville. It can now build a hell of a lot. So I've got a lot of infantry, so here I'm just going to build plenty of artillery. So that'll bring us to about, that'll bring us to there. So it leaves us with another 6 slots. We'll employ Confederate regular line infantry. So I don't like having fancy units. I don't know what it is. I'm all for like having good soldiers, but not elite units. Maybe later in the game I'll see what elite units we can get as the Confederacy, but so what can we get? So we've now got 12 pounder, 24 pounder. Oh, we're all over that. Plenty. We have a nice amount of cav. Let's get some of these fancy posh boys. End turn. Do we take the preemptive strike. No one seems to be the Union call to arms, so it sounds like in the next turn or two we could see Confederate engineers. Yeah, let's build them. Build it! Build it, build it, build it. As soon as they declare war, I'm going to send this army straight through. Take that. Take Kentucky. Missouri, it's got a tiny little army in it. It's just militia troops. So what I'll do is I'll probably come around like that, because the mountains here. Can you... There's a road... Yeah, there's a railway going through. But they'll have to come through this territory. We'll go the long way around. So I'll take Kentucky and march around. Hopefully everyone else stays out. I mean, I've been neglecting the south a little bit, haven't I? Which is what we live for. We're living for the independent South. To live by our own rules. Fucking hell, where are these farmhouse places popping up? Like, this army's pretty much chocker. Little portraits of some of the cards as well, like photos. They've been scaled down. Uh-oh. Oh. Right, I'm just gonna quickly save it. So if it does crash, we have regular progress. Right then, this army is rammed to the max. So interesting army. They've got 54th Massachusetts, very famous infantry regiment, made well known in the more popular culture during the film Glory, about the American Civil War, Matthew Broderick and Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman. Basically tells the story of the first all-black volunteer regiment to fight in the Civil War. They have their own fancy uniform, people, light artillery. Union 20th Maine. Irish, obviously during this time still a lot of migration to America from Europe. And they've got Ulysses S. Grant and George G. Meade, whereas I don't have anyone yet. It's probably... I can get them when I've built this. There's my generals I can get. Don't know what they do. They don't work in the same way as normal generals. Maybe they just have like a presence, a factor on troops. Still no war? The Confederacy declares war? On what? Dun, 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 dun. Wait, let's check. They don't have any allies. Screw it, we're gonna walk.
Ready for battle.
So, demand surrender, refused. We'll assault then with our massive army.